Today is Saturday, March 9th, 2016, and this is the Bunny Slippers of Evil Job Seekers Call-In Show, presented by Evil Bunny Consulting. I'm your host, Tyrone Griffin, and if it's 3 p.m. and you have on your bunny slippers, you are not looking for a job. Welcome first-time and returning listeners. In this show, we discuss strategies and tactics of job search, staying motivated, and dealing with career transition. For more tips, resources, daily motivations, and to listen to archive shows, go to the website, bunnyslippersofevil.com. There you also find links to our Facebook page, our Twitter handle, and our YouTube channel. If you are listening live, you can call in with your questions at 347-202-0929. Again, that number is 347-202-0929. And now a word from our sponsors. Evil Bunny Consulting is the job search alternative to expensive outplacement. They give company-sponsored job search workshops as well as a one-on-one job search boot camp. For more information, go to bunnyslippersofevil.com. Resume Edit is the high-quality resume writing company of certified resume writers, starting at just $35. You can find them online at resume4edit.com or call 404-860-2473. Be sure to tell them you heard about them on the Bunny Slippers of Evil Job Seekers podcast. Let 3dresumes.net turn your resume into a web page with a customized domain for 12 months for only $30. Help hiring managers and recruiters find you, make your resume available 24/7, and get a free professional email address just for your job search. You can see my online resume at tyronegriffin.com, and for more information on how to get your own, go to 3dresumes.net. If you're thinking or about to look for a job in today's world, you will find a new reality in the job search process. The world has changed. Job search today is much more complicated than 5 years ago. Volumes of resumes, more applicant screening systems, depersonalized applications, panel interviews, team hiring, long, complicated applications, branding and social media. Yes, the world has changed. But have you? Are you still trying yesterday's approach? Why struggle and miss out on today's opportunities? Career Oyster is here to help. Great coaches, the latest resources, unique strategies personally tailored to your job search. Find out the new reality and how you can prevent costly mistakes. To register for a free 45-minute private session with head coach Howard Caddy, go to careeroyster.com. Find out the facts now. You'll be glad you did. Remember their motto, the world is your oyster, be the pearl. Almost got through it. Good morning, everybody, and welcome. Hope you had a good, productive week. Thank you for tuning in or listening live or tape delayed or YouTube or however you're listening. I truly appreciate it. Thank you for giving me your time. This week, well, first let's start up. I have a speaking engagement coming up. I mentioned it last week. I'll mention it again today. On Monday, April 11th. I think I said March 11th at the beginning of the show. Sorry. On Monday, April 11th, I'll be speaking at the Roswell United Methodist Church Monday night in Roswell, Georgia. I'll be their keynote speaker. They have a mini job fair. If you're in job search, I encourage you to go. It's a great program. It really starts around 1 or 2 in the afternoon, but in the evening is the mini job fair. So I'll be there speaking about 6 o'clock. So if you're in the area and you got time and you can make it there, it's a great opportunity. It's a great program. I cannot recommend it any higher. So that's Monday, April 11th. I'll be speaking at about 6 o'clock. So it's going to be short, nothing long. There's a mini job fair after I speak. So yeah, I'm not going to be speaking that long. So, and also, if anybody is doing the financial challenge, remember, I talked about it first week, where you put $1 away a week and you add $1 to it. For example, the first week of the year, you put $1 away. The second week, you put $2 away. Third week, you put $3 away, and so on. If you've been doing that right now, you should have about $120 in your little kitty. So if you do it all year, I know it gets kind of hard around September, October, November, but if you do it all year, you'll have over $1,000. So it's a nice way of just putting away some money without, hopefully without hurting yourself too bad. So if you're doing that this week, you should have $120 in your kitty. Okay, with that, every month this year, what we're trying to do is a theme for the month. Just take one topic and just break it out over 3 shows. We say 3 shows because we usually do one show is on job search Q&A. So we have usually, on average, 3 weekends left. Sometimes we'll have 4, whatever. But this month, the theme is job search disasters. It's those things that go wrong. and hopefully how to prevent them. So we're going to take something every week this month and talk about it. This week, the first thing we're talking about are the documents. So job search disasters, the documents. What documents? Anything that you can't even say documents now, because now stuff it's not hard paper anymore. Some things are still hard paper, but a lot of things are not. A lot of the jobs you apply for are online. A lot of jobs are, you don't have to print out paper. See, I'm one of those old fogies. I remember when you went to great lengths to get the right paper, the right stock of paper, and you made sure, you had your little box of paper you carried with you wherever you went, and you just made sure that, okay, when you're ready, you went to a printer, because we didn't have printers at home, and you didn't want to, and when we did, you didn't want to do it on a dot matrix, but you had your printer. You went to Kinko's way back in the day. Trust me, guys, Kinko's was the bomb. I remember doing papers and sitting in Kinko's for hours. Totally off the rail. I remember when I was in Connecticut, I was in graduate school, and I remember going down to Kinko's a couple of times to print papers up. And you talk about a line outside of Kinko's, because it was like finals time, and everybody had to print the paper, and everybody was just standing there with their floppy disk with their paper on it, and they're just like, oh, I just need to go in there and print, But anyway, back when I was a kid, good old days. But anyway, I'm saying about documents. We call them documents, but right now most documents are electronic files. So, or just, I get an itch. I know this hair under my nose. I gotta get rid of this itch every show. But the documents can be in a database now. It might not even be a document. It might just be a record in a database that's got all your stuff in it. So anyway, so this is what we're talking about. Job search disasters, the documents. And first one up is let me see which one we're going to start with. Let's start with cover letters. Let's talk about cover letters. Now, how can you have a bad cover letter? Well, not a bad, but a disaster. One of the tricks that people used to do, believe it or not, this made the rounds in the job search community for a little while, and then it pretty much fell out of favor because it was, in my opinion, it was pretty much unethical. But what people used to do was, when computers first started being used to do screening of job applicants, people would go and look online and see the job description. And what the computer's doing, back then it was trying to match up the job description with what was in your resume and what was in your cover letter. And if it has some system, every computer had some system, different system. But if it didn't find enough matches, whatever the criteria was, whatever the minimum number was, if it didn't find enough matches, it would kick you out. So you never made it past the computer. Just like now, you never make it past the computer. The computer's looking for certain things before it kicks you out. So what people used to do, smart people, desperate people, you might say, but what job seekers used to do was copy the job description from the job posting. You just select it all, edit copy, or file copy, or whichever operating system you're using, and then in their cover letter, the bottom of the cover letter, they would paste the job description exactly as it was in the job posting. Theory being that, the computer would read your whole cover letter, and it would get all of these matches. Boom, 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 get you in. So it was a way of skirting. That's what people do. You jump the fence. Whatever you do, you sneak on board, whatever. But this is just a way of sneaking in and getting, trying to get your resume on the list. But what you do, and here was the important thing, what you had to do was you had to select all the text of that job description and turn it white so that it wouldn't show up. See, most people, looking at a cover letter on the screen, they'll print it off. Well, what would happen if you print it off, the printer would just print 2 pages and the second page would be blank. So, computer, weird, and they wouldn't think about it. And that was the theory, that people wouldn't think about, why am I getting this blank page when I print this 1-page resume, or 1-page cover letter? Why am I getting 2 pages and one page is blank? So that was the theory that, you could get by like that because nobody would catch you. Till somebody figured out if you're reading somebody's profile or cover letter on your screen, on your computer, and for whatever reason, you do a select all. Select all. Even though the text was white, it would all be highlighted. So the person looking at the screen would look at it and, okay, didn't it end here? Why does it keep going down the page? And that's when you'd get busted. What would happen? It depends on I want to say it depends on the ethics of the person that's reviewing your resume. Somebody probably used that trick and got caught, and it put them in good with the company. Oh, we like your creativity and ingenuity, and maybe got a job out of it. I don't know, but I would imagine a lot more people not only didn't get the interview, but they probably got put on a do not call list, if you will, for being sneaky. So that was one of the. Excuse me, I apologize. I totally apologize for that. Yeah, I've been up since 5 o'clock. Went to the gym. But that was one of the tricks. And, do I condone it? I'll be honest, I don't. I think now the computers look for matches in context. And if they start to see like word for word matches, then they probably will kick you out for that. But yeah, to me personally, it's not worth it. Use it if you want. But that's one of those things. It's a disaster, and that's one thing that you really cannot recover from. Well, I won't say cannot. If you are a good talker, maybe you could talk your way out of that. But the problem is you may not even know it. You may not even know that they saw it and they booted you out for that reason. So that one's something you maybe, say, well, I was looking at the job and I was pasting it over to try to match up some things and I forgot to delete it, or I don't know. Say, but to me, that's one of those things where it's like busted, It's like you come home and catch your spouse kissing somebody on the couch who's not a blood relative of either of yours. And you go, okay, what you doing? So anyway, that's a disaster. That's a disaster. I would encourage you not to do that because, again, I think the computers nowadays are more sophisticated than that. They will catch that and kick you out. And it's just not ethical. This really is. I understand what you're trying to do. You're trying to get past the computer. I do understand that. But at the same time, it's not worth it, in my opinion. That's just my 37 cents. It's not worth getting that job if you have to go through that to get the job. It's just not worth it. So anyway, so that's one of those disasters. Business card disasters. Let's talk about that because those are. We'll probably say the resumes for last because I got a little list there. Business card disasters. Ooh. Hold on a second. My call failed, so I need to log back in to my podcast. I'll keep talking. The video will be good, but the audio. Hold on. Let me see. Okay, I'm going to keep talking because this thing is messing me up. I apologize. The video 9 4 3 3 4 3 4. The for some reason it hung up on me, so it's telling me to call back in. Okay. Okay. Apologize to the audio people. Somehow my call got disconnected, so I do apologize. Make sure it's up there so you can get. So anyway, you'll just get that. I apologize, everybody. I don't know what happened there. We were talking about business cards. What I call business card poker. One thing people used to do is, maybe I shouldn't call this show disasters, just call it job search mistakes, but we call it disasters. It's sexier. But you go to a job networking event and people would walk, they'd have their, they went to Vistaprint and got their 250 cards, and they would walk around to each table at the event and just put a card on every place setting. They would just walk around putting a card on every place. Boom, 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 boom. Every place setting got a card. They wouldn't stop and talk to anybody. They just put a business card on every place setting. And, the idea, I guess, is that, one of those people, it's like we call the buckshot mentality. You're shooting at something and you put buckshot in your gun instead of a bullet and spray the area. You figure, I'll hit something. Same thing with, same mentality, I think, to some extent with AK-47 or a machine gun. I'll just shoot the area and maybe I'll get a hit. Not that it works. I don't think it works. That's just my opinion. Yeah, people do that. They would go around the table and you come sit down, at the event, you see somebody's card there. And here's the thing, you see the guy's card or the woman's card, you know who they are, who is this person, so, you make a little bonfire pile in the middle of the table and leave it alone. So yeah, you've wasted your time. Other things you can do bad on your business cards, it sounds crazy, but if you don't put a contact number, that's just a disaster. That's a disaster. So, I like this guy, but you got no number on here. Or you try to be too cute. You put your number in, you put your number on a QR code, and all your contact information is in a QR code. And they were real cool a couple years ago. People using QR codes. Those are the big thing a couple years ago. Now, funniest thing I saw was a QR code on a billboard. So think about that a minute. You're driving up the road, and you're supposed to hold your phone up and take a picture of a QR code while you're driving. Yeah, do that. Let the police see you pulling that one off. But anyway, don't have your contact information. Have the wrong contact information. Have we talk about this with resumes as well, typos. Using your company, your old company. This is something I've seen people do. Whatever they were laid off from or let go from, the last job they had, they have business cards from that company. And they use those business cards. They just scratch out the company name and, use that. I don't, my feeling, I'm not rich and I know money can be tight, but $10 to Vistaprint or free, I think, is worth it, to get your cards versus, using your old company's cards with your name still on them and your, scratched out number. It just, that's just ugly. We talked about cover letters. We talked about business cards. Marketing plan. Now, the marketing plan is basically what it sounds like. It's your plan of how you plan to market yourself. I've always advocated that the marketing plan is something you should hand out more than your business plan. Than your resume. People don't read resumes, but your marketing plan is a 1 page or 3/4 of a page and summarizes what you're looking for. It doesn't get into the issue of where you worked and what it's just, here's what I'm looking for. Here's my competencies. End of story. But you can have a conversation over a marketing plan. You really, a conversation over a resume is an interview. A conversation over a marketing plan is a conversation. So, but you could screw up with your marketing plans. For one thing, here's the thing. If you go to, and I'm not trying to bash anybody's business, but if you go to a professional job search company or whatever, and they give you this, they create this resume, this job search package that's beautiful and laser lights coming out of it, and you don't match that. I remember when I got married, and I remember one of the things that we realized during the planning of it was that your wedding had to match your style. So, people go and we see it all the time. People will go and spend thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars maybe, to have this fabulastic, ghetto fabulous wedding. And it's not them. But their friends are all impressed. Ooh, look how much money they spent on this wedding. Wow, look at some good china. And it's not them. It's not their style. Your resume, your marketing plan. It's got to be your style. Use your marketing plan to open conversation. Don't use your marketing plan to beat over somebody's head. So anyway, let's talk about. We got about 10 minutes left. I apologize for on the audio. I apologize for losing the connection for a few minutes there. But let's talk about the big elephant in the room. Well, the bigger elephant. This is the big elephant. Is lies. Don't lie, people. You can be creative in how you tell the truth, but don't lie. I know somebody personally, wanted a job, and I helped them get in contact with somebody at the federal government, as a matter of fact. And then they told me after that there was a lie on their resume. And I mean, that was a point blank lie. It was one of those things, well, I did this in college. No, you didn't. And I had vowed, I can't help that person. I cannot help them anymore because you lied. And you lied after I put your name out there and vouched for you. So I can't help you again. I can't help you anymore. So don't lie. Trust me. Don't lie. I don't care how good that job seems. You will get caught more than likely, eventually, and it will be ugly. Don't lie. If you're not qualified, say you're not qualified. If you don't have a certain thing, don't say you have it. If you're getting it, say you're getting it. But don't say you have it and you don't have it, any degrees or anything. Don't lie, people. But anyway, the biggest elephant in the room is the resume. Job search disasters, the documents. To me, the big one is the bad resumes. Now, what makes a resume bad? Number one, typos. If you can't spell it, don't say it. Or get word spell check or something. Okay? Don't just add to dictionary every word that comes up with little red squealies under it. Just don't do that. Bad format. Now, as I always say, and I didn't say it this week, but I try to always say it, anything I say is just my opinion. I'm not a job search expert, if you will. I've had any formal training in job search, but just like a soldier, you've been to war, you know a bit about going to war. You can go online, if you Google the Googles, resumes, resume format, anything, there's tons of resources online to make your resume look good. I encourage you highly to use them. Okay. Yeah, I know how to use Word. I can make a resume. No, you can't. Okay. Resume, the format, using white space, all those things. There's a reason that people do that. So, if you can, I would say go to an expert, but there's all kinds of resources available free online. The format, what kind of font to use or what size font. You don't have to, again, anything you find online is somebody's opinion. At the end of the day, you want your resume to look presentable. You want it to look good, be readable, okay, so on. You can have a resume that's disorganized, and it sounds crazy, but you can have, just stuff everywhere. Let your resume tell the story, people. Tell the story, but let it be a story that makes sense for the person reading or for the average person, but let it tell a story and not a story that you're screwed up in the head and don't know how to format. Okay. Here's where we get into issues. Too short or too long. What's too short for a resume? Any guideline anybody gives, there is a rationale for that not being a good guideline. And what I mean is, my resume right now is 2 pages, 2 solid pages. I've been in a job search. I've been in corporate America for 20 some years. I've had several different jobs during that time. I've tweaked it, gotten it down to 1 or 2 bullets per job, but still I've had a lot of jobs in those 20 years. And a whole heck of a lot in the last 11 years. A lot of companies I've worked for. I don't think mine is too long. When I've tried to put it into 1 page, because people say, well, some experts say your resume shouldn't be any longer than 1 page. I've heard experts say 1 page. I've heard experts say it shouldn't be any shorter than 2 pages. So take it with a grain of salt. I would say your resume should be as long as you need it to be to tell your story. If you've been Oh, excuse me, sorry. No, there's some extremes. And I mean, if you've been working for 6 months, your first job out of college, unless you have been going gangbusters in college, your resume shouldn't be longer than a page. That's it. It shouldn't be longer than a page. Same time, if you've been in the workforce 30 some years, and your resume is one page, you're leaving a whole lot out, in my opinion. It's kind of like when you see a headstone. I know not to take it morbid, but when you see a headstone and it says, born 1977, died 2012, and a dash in between, and you realize that that dash is this whole person's life. Okay, those two numbers are irrelevant. That dash is that person. Everything they did and so on. It's all in that dash. Your resume should kind of be like that. Tell your story. Make it long enough to tell your story. However long you decide that is, because again, as I always say, it is truly your job search. It's nobody else's. Okay, it is truly yours. It's not mine, not anybody else's. So tell your story. Another thing, let me get back to my notes, is too much or not enough focus. Again, this probably fits into that idea of not being organized, having your resume not be organized. Let somebody read your resume, because it's a disaster when you hand that resume out and people look at it like, what the heck is this guy? Or woman, they can't type. It's all organized. I'm having trouble following the dates because they use one format up here and they use another format down here. Those things you can avoid those things, but take your time. I know it's like, I need a job tomorrow. Yeah, but that's kind of like saying I'm going hunting because I'm hungry. But instead of me spending 10 minutes, 15 minutes to learn how to shoot this gun, I'm gonna go out there with a rock and just beat something over the head. Yeah, ain't gonna happen. So, anyway, those are what I call, those job search disasters. They are not unrecoverable from, per se. Some things are probably more recoverable than others, but those are the things you need to watch out for in your job search. Now, I have we got 2 more weeks of these shows of the job search disasters or job search mistakes. One is I'm working on it in the notes now. One is the networking, and I forgot what the other topic. But I got three different ways I'm going to break this up. So this week was the documents. It was we talked about resumes, talked about cover letters, we talked about business cards, and we talked about the marketing plan. Resume, cover letter, business card. Yeah, we talked about all 4 of those and how you just be careful. If when in doubt, Google. Okay. Remember, it is your job search, so don't listen to anybody, including me, blindly. It's your job search. Okay, remember that. So anyway, with that, thanks for listening. If you are listening on the website, feel free to subscribe in iTunes, and if you do so, please leave a comment so that others can find the show, and I truly appreciate it. If you have a suggestion for a topic you would like me to cover in either podcast, 1 Minute Bunnies, tips, which I won't go there. Please send it to me at Tyrone@bunnyslippersrevo.com. Can't guarantee you anything, but you send me a good topic, I will be more than happy to try to see if I can talk about it with respect to job search. Now, when you do land, please don't forget us. Please support this show by visiting our Cafe Press store and buying a t-shirt, a water bottle, a coffee mug, a clock, or a sweatshirt with our logo on it, the Evil Bunny. Because I don't want you to forget the show. I want you to have some type of memento of your job search. Because as soon as you forget what this was like, you set yourself up to be coming back to transition. And nobody wants that. So anyway, as always, people, I thank you. I appreciate your time. I appreciate you spending some time this morning with me. I hope, as always, that this show helps somebody, someplace, somehow, some way. So with that, last thing, remember, this coming Monday, I will be at the Roswell United Methodist Church, Roswell, Georgia. If you can make it, it's a great, even if it's not just for me, it is a great job search networking event. They have it every second and fourth Saturday, I believe, but it's been good. I've spoken there before. I've attended there before. So anyway, with that, everybody, thank you for coming, for listening. See you next week. Take care. Have a good week. God bless you, and bye-bye.